So I grew up in a small rural Newfoundland community, in a home where my parents were deeply connected to faith and to the church. And so I was nurtured in this environment where seeing and responding to the needs of the people around me was embedded in the everyday work and life. It wasn't uncommon for me to see my mom making a meal and taking it to someone who was sick or a family in need. It wasn't uncommon for me to hear my dad talking to people about Jesus or inviting them to faith. And so it was in this context that I was nurtured very early in my life to see the needs of the community around me and to respond in very practical ways. As a teenager, I had a deep sense of God's calling on my life. And even though I had a lot of fear and reservation and question about what life as an officer would be like, God really assured me with a deep sense of peace in my own heart that He was calling me to something very specific and that He would equip me for what was ahead. Into my late teens and early adulthood, I worked at summer camp, and that was beautiful, many summers of beautiful experiences where God just spoke and continued to shape me. And it was at camp and in my local corps where leaders and peers spoke into my life and affirmed and validated God's call upon my life. God has planted me in various places throughout my officership. I've had many unique experiences, and many times I have felt ill-equipped for the task that is before me. But even in all of that, I've been assured of God's calling upon my life. But in each of those settings, I've come to recognize that I did not bring to the table everything that I needed for God's purposes at that time and that season. And so God used the hands of others to come alongside, to partner with me in ministry, many times bringing skills and abilities and gifts that I myself lacked. But we were able to come together as partners or in a team to accomplish God's purposes. And so I'm so thankful that over my years of ministry, I can look back and see many places and times where God not only used my own hands, but the hands of others as partners in ministry to accomplish His purposes. If I were to offer a word of encouragement to someone who is exploring God's call upon their life, I would first remind them that God is present and God is faithful. As I look back on my ministry, I see the work of God in every stage, in every place that I've been. Sometimes God has been working in places that I've been aware of, and sometimes He's been working in ways that were not a part of my plan, but were a part of His plan. But God has always been present, and God has been faithful to all of His promises. The second word of encouragement I would offer is to fix your eyes upon Jesus. We live in a very fractured and broken world where there are distractions everywhere. We cannot walk the path of ministry without fixing our eyes upon Jesus. He is the one who calls, He is the one who equips. He is faithful, and He is the one who has started a work in you and will carry it on to completion.